Hello everybody, my name is Davis, welcome back to the video, and today we're here for another severe weather breakdown. We do have an enhanced risk of severe weather today that I feel like needs to be addressed, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting off with the SPC outlook for today, like I said, we have an enhanced risk today because of Hurricane Idalia, which was much stronger than expected at landfall. It was a high-end Category 3, but right before landfall, it was even a low to moderate Category 4 hurricane, but luckily it has now died down to a Category 1 and is scraping Georgia and the Carolinas right now. So let's go ahead and break down the threats for today. We do have a 10% risk of a tornado. This is very, very rare. So today, if you are in the cities of Charleston or Wilmington in South and North Carolina, I would definitely be on the lookout for tornadoes today, as 10%, that's a pretty big risk. Then we have a 5% risk of a tornado here in the Brown region. This includes no major cities, but actually not. Yes, it does. It has Savannah, Georgia. And then the green area, we have a 2% risk of a tornado, and that includes Sumter, South Carolina, Florence, South Carolina, Statesboro, Georgia, New Bern, North Carolina, and Kinston, North Carolina. So look out in all those regions today for the possibility of a tornado. Damaging wind threat, we do have a 5% risk of damaging winds of 60 miles an hour or higher here for much of the southeast. Like I said, it was higher earlier, but it has gone down a little bit now because Hurricane Idalia has fizzled out quite a bit, but could still produce some high wind gusts. Hail threat for today, very low, none at all pretty much. Moving into tomorrow, we don't even have any marginal risks yet, so nothing to worry about there. And then moving into Friday, we don't have any marginal risks either. That's pretty nice. So let's go and move on to the National Hurricane Center, where we do have Hurricane Idalia scraping Georgia and South Carolina right now, as well as very, very isolated bits of Florida there with 75-mile-per-hour winds. It will soon become a tropical storm once it reaches South and North Carolina, so not too much left to worry with about Idalia, but I've not looked at the damage totals for Florida yet today. I just got home, so I'm not too excited to see what happened there, because it was a very dangerous situation. We have Hurricane Franklin, which is expected to go up into the ocean and fizzle out, but it could get Iceland just a little bit. We have this disturbance that has a 10% chance to form the next 48 hours and a 10% chance to form the next 7 days. And then we have Tropical Depression 11, which is barely anything at this point, and it's definitely not going to go anywhere. And then we have this disturbance that has a 60% chance to form the next 7 days and a 50% chance to form the next 48 hours, but it's not going to hit the states, so we're not too worried about it as of right now. Moving on to the Eastern Pacific, no new tropical cyclones are expected during the next 7 days. It's been a while since I've seen that message, honestly. Things have been pretty active. Central Pacific, however, not quite as lucky, but you know what? You might as well be, because this disturbance has a 0% chance to form at this point. It is now just a couple of shower and thunderstorms out here, and definitely will not hit Hawaii. So, pretty good for the Hurricane Center. Just Idalia, which is still a little bit of a threat. Excessive rainfall outlook. We do actually have a moderate risk of excessive rainfall today. That's a 40% risk that extends all the way from Georgia up into bits of North Carolina here. So, yeah, this does include Columbia, Fort Stewart, as well as Augusta, and Jacksonville, Fayetteville, and Wilmington. So definitely look out in those regions today. You have a 40% chance to see flash flooding. Yellows, you have a 15% risk, and greens, a 5% risk. Now, moving into tomorrow, we do have another moderate risk of flash flooding, another 40% risk. This will be the remnants of Hurricane Idalia here. By this point, it will be a tropical storm Idalia, but we do have a very, very, very small moderate risk here. That's once again a 40% risk of flash flooding, but literally there are only 17,000 people in this red bubble here, so it's not really too much of a threat. Yellow, that's a 15% risk of flash flooding once again. Then going into Friday here, we have two different slight risks of flash flooding. One's down here in the desert southwest in the Four Corner states, so look out for that. And then one is down here near the panhandle of Florida. This does include Tallahassee. It's unfortunate that you guys could see some more flooding so soon, but it is a real threat that we need to start watching for. Then moving in to Saturday here, we have another slight risk of flash flooding. It doesn't end. Once again, down here in the desert southwest in the Four Corner states. This doesn't quite include Vegas, luckily. And then going into Sunday, we have another slight risk of flash flooding here. This is over here in the upper western U.S. Includes bits of Idaho, western Wyoming, and northern Utah. So look out for that. And that's the excessive rainfall outlook. Climate Prediction Center today. This is your 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. This is September 5th to September 9th. We have a massive heat dome on the way here. So especially areas like southern Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, eastern New Mexico, and very, very, very southwestern bits of Arkansas there. In fact, I'm not even sure there's anything there. Yeah, I don't think there's anything in there. But yeah, it's going to be very, very hot in this bubble here. Still very above average in the pink, very hot in the red, and then oranges and yellows could be above average. So definitely look out for that. A heat wave is coming, one last one before the fall hits. So get ready for it. This is also going to cause a pretty big drought, especially here for the Four Corners states. You're going to see very below average precipitation, so we could see some drought conditions. And then we do have a bit of above average precipitation here expected in the upper Midwest and the Northwest. So yeah, look out for that. Moving on to the day 8 to 14 outlooks, that would be September 7th to September 13th. The heat dome has not crashed. In fact, it looks nearly identical. Especially the darkest bubble, it's literally the exact same almost. Pink, still very hot. Dark red, very hot. Oranges and yellows could be very hot still. So all the way up until September 13th, we could be seeing above average temperatures for like 90% of the country, which is crazy. And the drought's not going away either, especially for the Four Corner states here, but is now even expanded into parts of the Central Plains here, and even the Midwest a little bit. It's gonna be hot, so yeah, hot and dry rather. So look out for that. Finally, the watch, warning, and advisory display. We do have some hurricane-related watches in effect here in this area still, but those will fizzle out soon enough at some point tomorrow night probably. And then we do have red flag warnings down here in the deep south, so if you're in one of these pink boxes here, I definitely would not be burning anything outside, as that could very easily start a wildfire, or a forest fire rather. Excessive heat warnings we do have down here in the desert southwest, and heat advisories as well if you're in the orange. We do have some more red flag warnings here in Wyoming as well, so look out for that. And then we do have some in north central California, so look out. Once again, pink, that would be red flag warnings. Purple color, excessive heat warnings. Oranges, heat advisories. Grays, I do believe, are air quality alerts. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they are, so look out there for some nasty air. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it for today. If you guys did enjoy this video, then make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.